Hey guys, I would just like to let you know that Walker865, who is the owner of this league, and any other names that you're about to see in this video, are not going to accept friend requests unless it is for a league invite only. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Hello YouTube, this is going to be my review on race number 3 of the Nascar Full Throttle Racing League. It's also presented by Walker865, who is the owner of the league. I would like to say that it was a lot of beating and banging racing going on out there. But overall, the winner of the race at Watkins Glen ended up being the number 13 car, also picking up his first win of the 2014 season for the NASCAR Full Throttle Racing League was XX Ty 117XX. So really great job by him tonight, and he ended up having a good call tonight, but I will get more into that later on. DNYC Vision, who ended up driving the number 83 car tonight for Upwind. Upwind could not make the race tonight, but DNYC ended up picking up a second place finish. Ross Racing, who was the other Burger King car out there, that would be Ross Racing 25X, he ended up finishing third tonight. And Walker865, who surprisingly ended up having a spin out after contact into turn 4, he ended up finishing last place tonight, but Walker did manage to finish the event off strong. 4 cars were entered into tonight's race, and all 4 of them ended up completing all 45 laps of the race. There was a lot of cautions out, but I was unable to manage to get some of them, but I do have a couple of race highlights that we ended up having tonight. Starting on lap 15, we ended up having Ross Racing end up getting loose after Ty and DYNC ended up getting together. It was actually starting to go 3 wide there, but Ross was really close to spinning out, and he was starting to get all over the place until he managed to save it, so Ross still managed to continue on. On lap 25, we ended up having a red flag situation where Walker865 hit the water barrels going into the pits. He ended up spinning, and the whole side of his car ended up getting into the water barrels. Luckily, Walker's car was alright, and he managed to continue on for the rest of the way, but the red flag was called out for a little bit. And on lap 43, surprisingly, Ty 117, who ended up taking 2 tires, seemed to have a very good call for the night, because Ty ended up picking it up, and the 2-tire pit stop really seemed to pay off for him. And of course, from what I heard, I mean, a lot of people didn't really agree on the 2-tire pit stop, because I know that the other 3 cars that did come in ended up taking 4 tires. So we will end up getting more information about that, but I mean, and also near the end of the race, we also had a racing incident go on between the 83 car of DYNC Vision and the 13 car of our winner, XX Ty 117XX. Tempers were starting to fly a little bit, I mean, and obviously DNYNC wasn't really happy with Ty, but they managed to work things out. It was a 3-car wreck there, so that's why the results ended up coming back the way they did. But Ty, who managed to end up saving it from spinning, ended up starting to pull away from DYNC and Ross Racing, who both ended up getting together when the wreck happened. But and then there was back to the incident with Walker865. You're probably wondering on how he ended up finishing last. Well, Ross Racing, who ended up coming off of turn 4, I guess his brakes were starting to go, and he ended up having a couple of brake failures going into the last lap into turn 4. Well, there was contact between the 24 car and the 93 car going into the front straightaway near the starter stand, and Walker ended up spinning out while Ross still managed to continue on going for 3rd place. So that's how Walker ended up finishing the night in last place. I do know this, that the point standings end up going as follows. Well, and all of you that also do know that Walker 865 is actually running for another driver. He is running for X-Ray Lion, who hasn't been able to make the past couple of races. Walker is covering for him, and he ended up getting X-Ray a good amount of points for tonight, though, even though that he finished in last place. But the points end up going as follows. I mean, X-Ray Lion is still in the lead thanks to Walker. He ended up having 34 points, but I actually ended up tallying up the points, and Ross Racing ended up tying X-Ray Lion with 34 points, of course. And Ty, with that win, ended up helping him out. He ended up getting 32 points. And DNYC, who was running for Upwind tonight, of course, Upwind is going to be claiming those points, though. He is in last place with 28 points. And I mean, Upwind is probably a little bit far behind because of what happened in Martinsville. He was having a little bit of bad luck in Martinsville, but looking to see if Upwind will maybe end up making a good comeback after this race. And I mean, next race we're going to be going to is Darlington, who also has a good reputation on giving drivers a lot of bad luck. So who will end up claiming the win? We don't know. We just have to wait and see how qualifying and the race goes. But that's for the next nationwide race. Our next race is going to be the NASCAR Full Throttle Racing League Series, also known as the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. That's going to be coming to you live from Sonoma, and I am not sure how many drivers are going to be entered into this race, but I do know that there are going to be a lot of drivers for this series to be entered. I mean, you're going to be seeing way more than what we had tonight for the nationwide series, so that's mostly all I have for tonight, and we will be seeing you guys for the next review, which I will be having the Sonoma race. It will be on Thursday at 7 o'clock, and we will be looking forward to seeing you guys. And for right now, this is NASCAR Fan saying goodnight.